Test. Can you all hear me? You hear me? Thank you. Like Jenny. Who is Jenny? Is there a Jenny here? Oh, Sup. Why is that LX? Is that like for some Chinese name? You are, I don't know, Zilong from 三国演义 or something like that. Okay, but anyway, yeah, right. So we're gonna do the situational writing. Oh yeah, maybe I should do some selfless self-advertising first. So yes, as usual, right? Please join our writing classes or any other classes, right? Online, right? If you have joined the physical classes, that's fine too, right? Yeah, can spread the message to your friends, can share, right? And yeah, you are Yuki 卓乐轩 Yuki so Japanese name do you have like Japanese parents? I mean, based on surname, you should be a Chinese father, right? Yeah. Yuki, depending on which Yuki can mean snow, can mean courage, right? But yeah, no, the Kahoot is already over. We just did the Kahoot for science. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, there's the details about the trials and lessons there. Please join us if you haven't already. Okay, right. Uh, no, all Singaporean Chinese. Okay, so your parents just wants to have that name. I mean, Yuki is a nice name. Uh, that depends on which Yuki lah. Is it Snow or is it Bravery? Is it what other Yuki do we have? Yuki. Generally it's Bravery or Snow, but yeah. But yeah. Uh, right. So Yuki Star. No, Star is Hoshi. So it's quite different, right? So yes. Uh, Yeah, it seems like you're friends here already, right? You remember each other name and whatever else already, right? Okay, so yeah, let's get started. So today we'll do another situational writing, right? So yeah, let's what do you say? Let's go. Uh, okay, so let's look at this one here. So there are three classmates discussing plans for an outing, right? And we have Dan here and Ben, right? So if you can see the names, there is Kevin here, right? Maybe I'll write it here, easier to see, Kevin, right? And you have here Dan, and you have this chap over here, Ben. Okay? Maybe that would be better. Yeah, Snow. Yes, Snow. Okay, so her name is Snow, right? Well, I mean, if that's what the parents decide to call her, sure. Right? Now, then let's see what the situation here is. So, hi, Dan and Ben. We should meet up during the school holidays, right? So they want to, he's suggesting, so he's putting a suggestion, right? Kevin is putting up the suggestion, right, to meet up. And so what does Dan say? Dan says, that's a great idea, Kelvin, right? uh, and then how about next Monday, right? So they're proposing next Monday. What is, do you have some questions? Seems like there's some chatter going on. Let me see. How do we get the worksheet? All right, the worksheet you can download from click on the link in bio or something, and then you can get the worksheet. Okay, right? Okay, what's with this Jenny thing? And anyone enlighten me? Who is Jenny? Is it like some horror movie or something like that? Anyway, yeah. Okay, come. Let's just let me see. So they are suggesting to meet on Monday, and then so this seems to be the date. Let me change the ink. So this one is the date, and then he's suggesting also the venue, which is the new mall nearby. So this seems to be the venue, the place, right? Okay, right. So then, but Ben says that he will be visiting the parents, his grandparents in Malaysia next Monday, right? Shall we meet on 11 June instead? So this date, this Monday, cannot work out, right? Because he is not available, right? And so they are, well, suggesting, or rather, Ben is suggesting 11th of June instead. Okay, now, then you have, do you mean Greendale Mall or Greenvale Mall, right? So this is the name of this mall here. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Not nice to ask people to leave. Okay. Anyway, they can like whatever they like. You can like whatever you like. We are not forcing anyone to do or like anything that they don't. Okay, I mean it's a free world, it's a free country, right? So yeah, but that's not nice for you to ask someone to leave because you don't like whatever they like. Okay, so must show a bit more tolerance and acceptance of differences around us. Okay, then we can be a more caring society. Right, didn't they teach you all that in school? Right, anyway, there's a cinema on the third level, right? So cinema, right? Now, and would you like to watch the movies The Avengers, right? And so this is the name of the show, right? Oh, you're welcome. I don't know what you're thanking me for, but sure, you're welcome. Okay, but yeah, hey, chill, yeah, chill, relax. Take a chill pill or whatever it may be, yeah, but don't have to be so angry, okay? It's not like Jenny will do anything evil to you or something like that, right? Yeah. I'm guessing Jenny is some singer or actress or whatever, right? So yeah, I mean they just do their job to earn their money and whatever. Okay. Now, so anyway, sure. In fact, Roy was telling me yesterday that he was keen to watch the movie. So now we have a new person, right? So here we enter. Here comes new contestant. Okay. Why is the pen not working? Right. And so Roy. Oh, hang on. Why is the pen not working? Uh, Strange. Ah, there we go. Now, so yeah, so now we have Roy. There's this new person. So on top of Kevin, Dan, and Ben, now there's Roy. Right? Was just telling me yesterday he was keen to watch that movie, and so obviously this that movie will refer to this Avengers, right? Okay. And yeah. Uh, And so Ben therefore says that, well, that's cool, right? I was thinking of asking him along. And since all four of us are pizza lovers, we can have pizza for lunch, right? So then here they're suggesting to have pizza for lunch on the day of the meeting. And so they're meeting on the 11th of June. And they are, seems like they're definitely going to Greenvale Mall for a show, The Avengers, right? So we have established all of these so far, right? Now then sounds good. Let's meet outside the cinema on 11 June, right? So that's the confirmed date and there's the time here, right? So yeah, maybe we'll just write that down instead. So this is date and time, right? So both answers the question when, right? And then they can get tickets for the movies and they'll have pizza for lunch. So they'll meet for lunch first, then they'll go for movie. No, wait, did they say they'll have lunch first? Well, it seems like it's an 11 show. So probably they'll have their show first, then they'll go for lunch and pizza. Huh? You are kidding when I said get out. I mean, you see, you must understand that you are writing in a group chat, right? In a group chat, we cannot tell how you sound. There is no tone. We cannot tell how you look. We don't see your video or anything. So it is quite difficult, if not impossible, to tell whether you are joking or you are being serious. And so what is the most typical safest thing to do is to assume that you are being serious, and therefore therefore we'll ask you to not do it, right? I mean, that's typical, right? I mean, that's why it makes online discussions quite difficult also, right? And of course, because you cannot see, what will some people do? They'll do the trolling lah, right? So they'll troll, and uh, some of them are just out there to make life difficult for people, and that's what they intend to do, right? They have no plans to, well, talk things out and understand. Okay, so yeah, just be careful when you're doing online. It's the same for anyone and everyone. Okay, it's very difficult to tell tone, and without a video of you, no one can tell whether you're joking or not. Okay, so just be careful. It's the same. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I mean, social media is a pain lah. Right. Okay, so that's context. We have all the context that we need based on the pictures here. Right. So let's look at the questions that we have, the task that we have. Right. And so let me see. Right. We have the task. Right. And what is our task? So can anyone tell me? Right. I think you are all, most of you are regulars. I think I see most more familiar names, but yeah, we have some new people, right? So um, can anyone tell me, right, which is the purpose? Let's start with purpose first. Where is the purpose? Which word or words tell me the purpose? No, no, it's okay. I'm not scolding you. Okay, Nirisha, I'm not scolding you. I'm just stating that you just want to be careful. This is not a scolding tone. Okay, it's just that sometimes these are words that come across as rather, well, I think schools will use the word unkind, right? And it does hurt feeling. I mean, if you are you can say things like, oh, okay, I'm not too I don't know, I don't really like Jenny, so I would appreciate it if you don't mention her name or whatever. I mean, at least that's still more polite, you see, right? So it really depends on how you send across the message. So the wording is important. Huh? I'm supposed to say get out, right? I mean, or get lost or whatever. I mean, when you hear that, you also don't like it, right? So yeah. Okay, plus furthermore, I don't think you know anyone here in real life, right? So yeah, it's not scolding, it's just um, a reminder that we want a kinder world and you want people to treat you kindly, then right, treat each other as such, right? So yeah, courtesy begets courtesy sort of thing, right? Yeah. Okay, so like treat your neighbors how, or treat others like how you want them to treat you. The same thing. Okay. Hi. So yes, good. Yeah, someone answered the question. The Queen card. Oh, you're new. Haven't seen you around, right? Yeah, intelligent. You can tell me who is the audience and then who's the context. Queen card. You like someone new? Haven't seen you before. Haven't seen your username before. Are you like the same person using a different name? Some other person using a different name? Yes. I'm gonna assume you are female because you are queen, right? Then after that, queen and slay, right? So yeah. So yes, queen got the purpose. She's a new, really. Okay, but it's the first time seeing her name, at least in my lessons, right? So yes, the purpose is to invite, and then we have the audience, right? Which Queen correctly pointed out, it is the classmate, Roy, right? So, and because of that, profile picture, I mean, I don't know the profile picture, but it's more like the username also changed. I don't recall seeing a Mario before. Okay. Right. And so this will be the audience will tell us that because you're writing to a classmate, it's going to be informal writing. Okay. The seconds, the C is not culture. The C is context. I mean, by right, yeah, by right, I'm not sure. I think I told you all before, right? Strictly speaking, right? It's actually PACC, and the last C is culture. But for the primary school context, we almost never bring it. Oh yeah, it's below. You all can see. So I have to move this up a bit, right? So yeah, usually PACC, the second C is the culture, but usually this one we don't talk about much in school because, well, context typically will be in Singapore, right? So yeah. No, context is not the informal context we know from the audience, which is basically in this case informal because writing to classmates, someone that you know. Okay, but yeah, yes, slay. Okay, I don't even know if you all still use that word, but yeah, I slay, you slay, we slay. Okay, now so then yeah, so anyone can figure out what is context? Anyone? Anyone wrote it, but maybe I missed it. Anything? No informal. No one mentioned C. Nope. Anyone? C. What's the context? I sigma. I prefer to be alpha. Alpha in front. But I mean, yeah, thank you very much. Omega is last. Okay, so now what's the C? What's the context, right? So we have the purpose, right? We know the audience, right? And so what is the context of given here, right? So yeah, anyone? No? So context, no one mentioned it so far, but yeah, some people tried. But like I said, it's not about it being the informality, right? So the context is basically there is this outing, right? And so you are talking about the outing and you are trying to arrange and set up the outing with your group of friends. So there's 4 of you, right? And so therefore, that is the context here, right? So let's just fill up the text box below, right? And so purpose is to invite, right? And who are we inviting? We're inviting Roy, who is basically our classmates. And because of this, this is therefore an informal piece of writing. Okay? Then, yeah. Oh, capybara lover. Okay, you've been quiet for a while, is it? Yeah, I just saw you appearing. Okay, right. Now then, context. For the context, yes, as you mentioned, this is we are arranging, right? Arranging an outing, right, with friends. Okay, so this is just for you to know what it is, right? I mean, they won't test you on this, but it is through the way you answer your in the writing, then we will know whether you understand PAC. Okay, so yeah, if you get your PAC wrong, usually uh, you will have your scores deducted. Okay, because like let's say if this is informal and you write a formal piece of writing, then clearly you don't know PAC, and so therefore you will be penalized, right? So I mean that's how it works lah. Okay, right. Now let's look at the main content points here. So how many content points must we have? Anyone? How many content points must we have? Content points we must have. Anyone? Frontier Primary. Wow, that's like Jurong. Okay, anyone? Content points. How many points are we expecting? Anyone? No one? Angsana Primary. Wait, Angsana is in where? Ang Mo Kio, somewhere, I cannot recall. Okay, never mind. Four? No. Yusha, are you primary 6? If you are primary 6, that's not a good sign. If you are not in primary 6, then it's understandable. Okay, right. And so yeah, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is that Jeannie Cho or Janie or Jin E or I don't know. Okay, but yeah, Tampines. Oh, okay. But yeah, yes, contents is 6 points, right? You have 6 marks here, and the remainder, your language score will be 8 marks. And so total for your situation writing will be 14 marks. Okay, now, of course, although there are 6 content points, but you notice that we only have 1 bullet point, 2 bullet point, 3 bullet points, and 4 bullet points. So the bullet points may not correspond to the content point, which is normal. Okay, usually they will be 5, typically, right? So that's where you need to identify where the content points are, right? And so, right, let's give it a shot, right? So let's look for question words. Usually you look for the question words so you know what to answer. Okay, So, right, the first one will be the who, right? So who is going for the outing, right? So we have one, right? So of course, in this particular case, there are few names. You have to mention the few names, but it'll still count as 1 point. So hopefully, you get everything in. Otherwise, you will probably be have some marks deducted. Okay. Calista is in Sec 1. Well, but I mean, secondary school, you still have situational writing. It's just that it's quite different from the primary school one. Well, obviously, secondary school situational writing is much harder. Right. Now, anyway, where and when. So we have where and when, which will be our 2 and 3 here. I mean, for obvious reasons, since there are 2 questions, right? Then at the same time, we have 2 details. So 2 details will, well, obviously be 4 and 5. That goes without saying, right? And then last one, we have a reason why. So the why everyone is meeting up. So as mentioned previously, and I think you would know this after doing it for a while, that this underlying point would therefore tell us that we need to come up with the information on our own, right? This information is not from um, the page before where they show you the 2 pictures, but you need to make an educated guess as to what the pictures are. Okay, right? Now, not what the pictures are, but what this point is. Okay, so yeah, uh, right. Anyone with any questions at this stage? So we have our 6, we have identified our 6 content points here, right? So the 6 here. So what we'll do is when we write, after or rather when we're done writing, we need to go back and check to make sure that we know we have all of these 6 points here, right? So we want to ensure that we have the correct amount of content points. Okay? Right. Let's get started with the writing. I think some of you would like that. So yes. So anyone, how should we start? Oops. Oh right, I need to increase the font size, yeah? You all will complain that too small. 18. Let's try 18. Okay. Right. Uh so anyone, how do we start? Yes, dear. Right, good. Thank you, Calista. Dear who in this case, who are we writing to? Right, Queen, you got the idea correct, but please note your punctuation. The obviously the dear has to be capital D, it's the first letter of the sentence, and Roy is a name, so obviously it will also need a capital R, and plus we'll need a comma. Right, I'm going to assume you know that Queen card, although you didn't write it down there, right? I think it should be quite obvious that we need it, right? Now, so dear Roy, right? And then why are we exactly writing to Roy? Okay. Now, so what must we have in the next paragraph? So we have our salutation already. So after salutation, the next portion we'll have is the what? We'll have the introduction. And so what will the introduction consist of? Do we need at the very beginning for an informal piece of writing? In this case, I mean, for primary school, it doesn't matter, is it email or letter, but yeah, this is a letter here. Right? Anyone, what do we need for this letter? How do we begin? It's not we go in, out. We don't write that. Anyone? Hmm. No one knows. It said, how do we begin? Informal letter writing or informal email writing, same thing. We would like to invite you to, no, Nirisha, but thank you for your reply. That's not how we will start. Don't forget, like I said, the clue is this is an informal writing. Yes, Yuki got it. So Yuki, is this standard? How are you? Right? And then you just need a question mark. Right? So that's all we need. right? Of course, if you want to be a bit more long-winded and say, how have you been? The weather is fine and I'm fine. And, whatever else, I hope this email finds you well and blah, blah, blah. No need. Okay. How are you would be sufficient, right? Three life-changing words. Okay. But yeah. Right. So how are you? Right. And so after that, we will start with the next most important thing. And what's this next most important thing that we need? Anyone? After the how are you, where you have the greeting to find out how the other person is, to show that you are aware that this is an informal piece of writing, then what is the next thing that we will need? Anyone? Yeah, or how have you been? That works, definitely. Then what else? What comes next? Background info. Oh, Foxy, welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while. But yeah, what is background info? The point of writing. Yes, correct, Nisha. We need the point of writing, or in other words, the purpose of writing. And in this case, what is the purpose? Our purpose is basically to invite. Yes, Yuki, the reason for writing. Not reason of your writing, but reason for writing. Okay, correct grammar, please. Right, but yes. So because this is informal, right, we can write it in an informal way. So what I will do is I will write this in a slightly different way. Of course, you can just start with your usual, I'm writing to blah, 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 invite you and whatever. But for this time round, let's do something a bit different, right? Not otherwise every time it's the same old, same old. But like I said, I'll emphasize because this is um, informal piece of writing. That's why we can write it this way. Otherwise, if it's formal, it's a lot more straightforward. We just go with the usual, I'm writing to whatever. Okay, so yeah, let's go with so Dan and Kevin, right? Because you are the question is says you are Ben, right? And you are to mention who else are coming along. And so because you're writing as Ben, it's Dan and Kevin will be joining the lot. Okay, all right. And so Dan and Kevin, let me see, are thinking of catching up during when did they say the month of the holidays? I don't think so, right? So just write the holidays, right? They didn't say the month, right? Let me just check and be certain. Uh, oh, I mean, they're meeting on 11th June. Obviously, it's the June holidays, but yeah, they didn't mention, so yeah, we don't have to mention. Okay, so no big deal. Of course, if we mention the June holidays, that'll be fine too. Okay, but yes. Right. Now, thinking of catching up during the holidays, right? And now, so because of that, what are you planning to do? So let's just add it in, right? And basically to watch, right, a movie, right? Now, of course, at this stage, you could add in the title of the movie already, right? But I'm choosing not to, right? But in any case, uh, the reason is for the most part because we need to explain one of the reasons or two reasons why um, he should come along, Roy should come along, and one of the two reasons is the fact that he likes the movie Avengers, and so we just keep it there to keep the message cleaner. Okay. Now, so they are planning to watch a movie. So this is providing background information which some of you, your teachers, would have required you to write. And so then we'll send in the invite. And so would you be interested, right, to join us, right? And so that here is the request and the purpose of writing, right? And so this is the invite. And so you're writing the invite in the form of a direct question to the reader, in this case, Roy. So of course, you could write, I'm writing to invite you to a gathering with Dan and Kevin and me, right? Something like that. Now, so of course, you'll notice that here, we have basically answered the first question, which is the question of who, right? Okay. Is it a must to write the title of the movie? Well, then that depends on the question, right? So did the question ask you for the name of the movie? Well, they didn't ask, but you have to give details to encourage Roy to join. And in doing so, you knowing that he likes Avengers, that will obviously be the most the obvious thing to write, even if they didn't mention that specifically, right? And so, yeah, you will need to write it. Okay, it makes the most logical sense. Okay, right now, let's move on. So we're done with the intro. So we'll move on to the body, right? And so, yeah, let's look at the body. And so for the body, what can we say, right? So now we want to talk about where and when to meet, right? Because that is also part of the question. And so, yeah, let's just continue from there, right? So, would you be interested? And so from there, naturally, we could talk about where and when to meet. And so, yeah, so we plan. Now, so also you do realize that this passage will also be in the present tense because you are talking about future plans, right? So for the most parts, it will be in present tense. Okay. I mean, it will not be in all the parts, but yeah, for the most parts. Okay. Right. Now, so we plan what? What do we plan? So we plan to meet, right? When? So we don't know the when is it asking for the date or the time. So, but we are kiasu people. We are people who are afraid that we might lose the point. So, typical Singaporean thing, we'll just write them all in, right? So I will cover all bases, right? So I plan to meet when. So we mentioned the date, right? So on 11th, oops, 11th June, right? So do take note, write the date out in full because this is an English test, right? So yeah, spell it out in full. So 11 June, what time? So at 11 a.m. Right? Now, so 11 a.m. Right? So we have the when, well, which is actually the date and the time, right? And where will you all be meeting? So outside, right? Outside where? Outside the cinema of Greenvale, Greenvale Mall, right? Wait, the mall needs to be capital M because it's a name, right? So we meet outside the cinema of Greenvale Mall, right? So we have the date, we have, we have the when, we have the where, right? Now, oh, your birthday queen or happy birthday. So happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to queen card. Then you get a king card, I don't know, right? Or ace card, right? Yeah. Anyway, and then you be the queen, you slay, right? Then you slay. Right now, so outside the cinema of Greenvale Mall, so we have the venue, right? So let's just end the sentence here. We don't want it to be too long. And so now we're going to convince two reasons, right? To convince two details to convince Roy, right? And so we're going to talk about Avengers, right? Because it is something that he would like to watch, right? And so we'll just say here that we intend to watch, right? And so I'll quote the name of the show, and so in so doing, I should use my quote marks. So Avengers, well, capital A, that is how it's written in the passage anyway, right? We'll watch the movies Avengers, right? And I understand, right, from then, right, that, right, you, that you uh, also have plans, oh, that you also have plans to watch the same movie, right? Okay. And so, yeah. Uh, how to claim the gift? The gift claiming, you have to take the screenshot of whatever, but that screenshot is gone already. Okay. Yeah. Then you have to send it to us. If you have the screenshot, then send it to us. Okay. Otherwise, can't help you. I'm sorry. Yeah. Right. So yeah, like they mentioned, you have to take the screenshot, but that screenshot, like I said, is no longer here. So yeah. Okay, anyway, so watch the same movie, right? And then, yeah, so then here we throw in another invite, right? To show that we want to invite. So, also, maybe, yeah, uh, do you wish to join us, right? Then we'll throw in another reason, right? Since uh, the more, the merrier, right? And so because this is a question we started to do, we'll put a question mark, right? Uh, okay, and then, right? So this is the first reason. Let's give another reason, and also, right? So the pizza party, right? Because all of them like pizzas, and so yeah, okay. Uh, we planned to have pizza uh, for lunch, uh, right? Comma, which we know you love, right? So this is the second reason. So the first one being, right, we are watching the movie you intend to watch anyway, so why not just join us? And then after, the second reason would be that, well, that's pizza. Who can say no to pizza? Especially Hawaiian pizza, right? I know some of my students will flame me for that, but yeah, Hawaiian pizza is the way to go. And pineapple, okay? Now, anyway, so yeah, which you love, right? So if you recall, in the informal writing, we will want to have contraction, right? Which we have not had so far. So let's have a contraction, right? So then after that, so, oops, so, comma, right? Uh, Let me see, right? So, doesn't that, right? So the doesn't, I'll have a contraction for doesn't. Okay. No, pineapple belongs on pizza. Nope, it tastes great. Okay. Yeah. So doesn't that, what do you call that? Doesn't that, okay, right, I lost my train of thought. Give you an added reason, right, to join us in our outing, right? So then this is a question, we put a question mark. So you notice that we're inviting, we're having a persuasive tone, right? And so, yeah, um, notice that there's like two questions here so far. Wait, let me try to highlight the question, right? And so you notice we have the questions here. Do you wish to join us? Since the more the merrier, right? And so like we are inviting, and so doesn't that give you an added reason to join us for, oops, our, not our, yeah, correct, our outing, right? So yeah, okay. So yes, yeah, so yeah, uh, they will order Hawaiian pizza because it is the best pizza. Pineapple goes well with pizza. It's not going to be orange. It's not going to be some other fruit, but pineapple. Come on, right? So yes, pineapple, Hawaiian pizza. Anyway, now, Guy is our outing, right? So there is a question with a question that I noticed cancel. I don't know what you're talking about, Sing Long. Okay, did I write anything wrongly? So doesn't that give you another reason to join us in our outing, right? So yeah, no, it seems fine. Right, so yeah, like I said, this is an invitation, so we want to sound inviting. So generally, we'll be asking questions. Regular Italian pizza, you mean margarita, right? Margarita. Yeah, at least know the name of what you like, right? So yeah, so then that's it. Like, let's go on to the other part. And so the last one, basically, we need to talk about the one reason, right? Why everyone is meeting up. And so, well, you're in primary six. There's not much chances left, especially after you all graduate, right? I mean, if you all are going to be so chummy with each other and you all will continue to meet up, sure, by all means. that's not an issue. But right, this is, well, take it as an excuse to meet up and take a break during the holidays before you study or whatever. So let's go with that, right? So let's go with since. How do I get rid of this toolbox? It's annoying. Not get rid, cannot. Noise, yeah. Okay, anyway, yeah, so I'm sorry about the toolbox. Oh, it's gone. Thank you. Right, so since what? So since it's, right, so we'll use the apostrophe s, so contraction again, right, to emphasize that this is informal writing. So it's the holidays, right, and will, right? So again, we'll have contraction, will be graduating soon, right? Then comma, oops, comma, right? Then I'm not sure, see contraction again, if we would have that many chances to meet, right? Um, right? And so we should cherish every opportunity that we can have together, right? So I will combine this last reason together with the polite ending, right? So yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean? Auto clicker. Oh, you know what's an auto clicker? Oh, very good. You are technologically advanced. Uh, yeah, auto clicker. Yes, that's the way to go. Unfortunately, Apple, I think no auto clicker. So yeah, it has to be on Android. Okay, but anyway, yes. Auto clicker, if you know how to program, you can use it to play your silly mobile games. But yeah. Anyway, so let's continue. Let's do the polite ending, right? So and we'll combine it together. So I was saying, and so do you? Oh, sorry, not do you. Do join us, right? We want to sound inviting, so do join us, right? If you can, uh, if you able to do so, right? Then here we'll make it sound cheerful, so we'll put an exclamation mark to show that, hey, come, please join us. What you want? I don't understand. What's going on, right? Yeah. Okay, right. So yes. Where was it? Yeah. So we have finished the polite ending. So after polite ending, can anyone tell me what comes next? What comes next after polite ending? What's with you people? Why you're crying non-stop? You're like funny people, you know. Then I don't understand. Then you cry. After that, I also don't know. Never mind, cry. Everything cry, cry, cry. Then explain. Okay. Yeah. So green card, yes, cheers. But what do we call cheers? What's that called? That's called the what? Regards, user 745619197490. Wait, I cannot recall your name. Your name is, what's it? I think you mentioned before. Uh, I cannot recall, I'm sorry. But yeah. Yeah, we said we don't use regards. Okay? Not, and there's no such word as regatta. Okay? Jin Jenny Choi. Jenny Cho. Right? So like I said, yeah, we don't use regards. Regards is unclear whether is it considered formal or informal. So that is something that you want to avoid like the plague. Right? So yeah. Best just to keep it to, is it Vicky? I don't think it's Vicky, but yes. Uh, yeah. So yeah, you can use, yeah, so you can have a few, you can have love, right? So you can go with love, and then you have comma, and then in this case, your name, you are Ben, so we just write Ben. The alternative, let's say, maybe I just write it down. You could have, like some of you mentioned, cheers, comma, Ben, that is another one, right? Or you can have, well, my personal favorite, because I can apply it for most circumstances, yours sincerely, right? And Ben. Okay, so yeah, this is sign off. So just to well remind you, in case you don't already know, maybe I can use red. So this here is our salutation. This is what we start off with. Dear whoever and whatever. Then we will have, this is the introduction, which basically includes your purpose of writing, right? Now, then we have the main body, right? So in this main body, we have some of the bullet points, which we will look at later. When to use yours faithfully and when to use yours sincerely. Okay, so yours faithfully is used when you do not know who you're writing to. That means most likely you have not met that person before, right? You may not even know the name of the person. So generally, if you're writing to, say, some manager, some group of residents, right, there is no name to the person, generally you'll be using yours faithfully. However, if the name is known, right, then you would use yours sincerely. So for example, if you know, for example, your teacher, your principal, right, your friend, that's why, like in this case, even your friend Roy, you will use yours sincerely. There we go. Ginny Choi wrote it nicely for us, right? For example, MR. What's MR? Mr. For example, Mr. But yeah, my name. What do you mean your name? But okay, sure. But thank you for the wonderful explanation, right? Yours sincerely, I'm leaving. Oh, I didn't know your name is called I'm leaving Blur Girl, Blur Girl, right? So yeah, then anyway, yes, thank you for the wonderful explanation. So we come back. So this here will be our polite ending, right? But of course, in case you realize the polite ending, in this case, the real polite ending is just essentially this one here. This other one here, we're just answering point number 6. Okay, so yeah, Faith. Oh, that's a nice name, Faith, right? And then we have, yes, the last part, as many of you mentioned correctly, this is the sign off. Okay, so here just choose any one of these. This will work, this will work, this will work. But of course, please make sure that it's at the edge here, okay? Right? Yours sincerely, Pineapple. Nice. Then yours sincerely, Pineapple, because he says that, aren't I wonderful on pizza? It is the best thing to happen to pizza, right? Imagine life without pineapple on pizza. Pizza would be boring. So anyway, yes, so let's check the main points, right? So we have, as just now we mentioned, the who here. So that's point number 1. We have when to meet, right? So this is when, this is point number 2. We have where to meet, which is this Greenvale Mall. That's point number 3. Right? Uh, Pine Kip, right? Why is that Hawaiian? That's the name of the Hawaiian, that's the name of the pizza with pineapple and ham. Okay, now then we have point number 4, which is the reason. So, which the first reason being this watching of Avengers, which he wants to watch, right? Then after that, there's this pizza party where they will all eat Hawaiian pizza because it is the best pizza in the world because pineapple rocks. Pineapple rocks, right? And then we have our last point here, which is the reason why they should be having outing because they'll be graduating soon. And so we should cherish every opportunity to meet. And we have point number 6 here. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we are done. So we have our 6 content points. And with this, we should be good to have 6 marks, right? Yes, Hawaiian is good because pineapple. Capybara lover loves, gets it, high five, right? So yeah. Okay, so yes, pineapple Hawaiian pizza is the way to go. Yes, we get your name, Nivisha. It's literally your user handle. But yes, thank you. Yeah, pineapple is good. Fruits are good for you. Okay. So yes, we have come to the end of this particular live and lesson, right? So I hope you have learned something useful and interesting, other than the fact that Hawaiian pizza is the best pizza in the world, hands down, right? And yeah, pineapple goes well on pizza. Okay. Yes, pineapple rocks. Thank you, Queen. Right. So yeah. So that's all for today. Right. So yeah. Oh wait, I forgot. Shameless self-advertising. So yes, please join our lessons if you have not already done so. Right. You can learn more. Right. And yeah. Prepare for your PSLE that's upcoming in a few months' time, right? So well, hang in there 4 more months, and then you'll be through. Okay, you're not the first batch, you will, and you won't be the last batch. Enjoy, yes, shower, right, and take care. Yes, okay, bye bye. I'll see y'all.